Have you been experiencing the frustration of a time-consuming and complicated video editing process as an Amazon influencer? Well, you're not alone. A lot of influencers are struggling with burnout and producing a lot of videos to really get to those financial goals that they are after because of the time and effort that goes into editing. Well, in this 3-part series I'm calling the Adobe Premiere Pro Basics for Amazon Influencers, I'm going to walk you through my favorite program as an Amazon influencer to edit my videos. In part 1, I'm going to walk you through importing the footage and helping you understand the hotkeys that will speed up your workflow. And speaking of faster, let's get right into part 1. All right, so here we are in Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, as I stated, this is my favorite PC-based video editing software. I have been using Premiere Pro for I don't even know how long. I've been using this for years. But what you need to know is it is a paid membership. You do have to pay for this program. This is not a free resource, unfortunately. So if you do not already have this as part of your Adobe Cloud Suite, then please, by all means, do not run out and buy it just for video editing. There are plenty of free resources. I've already done a video on using CapCut right on your phone. And my process in general is very similar. So what we're going to do throughout this series is we are going to edit one Amazon influencer review on one of my favorite coffee pods for my Nespresso. So I just filmed this the other day. I have not edited it at all yet. So we're going to go through my process and I'm going to teach you everything I can on the basics of a simple and effective workflow. So the first thing we're going to do is, you can see we're going to start a new project. Once you click that, then it comes in here. You're going to title the project. So we're going to call this Coffee Pod Vela Luto. I think that's what it's called and how it's spelled. It really doesn't matter on your computer. Call it whatever you want. Call it Coffee Pods from Heaven. It doesn't matter. Now, once we have that in, we are going to search for the footage. Now, I did this recording on my iPhone, and so I imported it from the iPhone. I literally just plugged in my iPhone, and I created a file on my desktop called Latest iPhone Review, and I dragged the footage right into that folder so it's easy to find. So if we go over to my desktop, you can see Latest iPhone Review right here at the top. So we'll click on that, or double click on that, and then you can see all of the footage that is in here ready to go. So now I was kind of messing around in preparation for this video. So normally you're going to come in here and you'll see these boxes unchecked. So you're just going to pick the ones you want. Now I filmed 6 different segments and that's what we're going to edit together in this series. Once you do that, then once you do that and you grab all the footage you want, you're going to come down here in the corner and you can kind of see it down to that part of my face, but the create button. Once you click that, it's going to create your timeline and bring your footage into your project. And it's going to bin it like this. So all you have to do is double click the folder and then all of your footage will be right in here. Now, which one's which? If you can't just look at the image and know which one's which, the nice thing about the iPhone is it chronologically orders your footage. So 36, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. So it's in order based on that. So you can use that to help you bring it in. Now, I like to bring them in one at a time and edit each clip one at a time. But before we start diving into the editing piece, I want to talk about hotkeys and specifically the mouse that I am using, because I believe that your mouse can speed up your workflow even better, because there's hotkeys on the keyboard, and we'll go over what those hotkeys are. But I believe that if you can get it onto your mouse, that's even better. Now, the mouse that I use is the Logitech G502 Hero. I actually use this for my gaming. I use it for my video editing because if you look here, it's got a button here, it's got a button here, a button here. So I got 3 buttons on my thumb. And then if you turn it up on the top, you got a button on the back, a button front here, And then on your mouse wheel, you can click left, you can click right, you can click down. So you can literally have an entire collection of hotkeys right on your mouse. Now, if you are interested in this mouse, I will have a link in the description below for you to go pick it up on Amazon. If you do buy it, I do get a small commission as an affiliate. So it helps support me, it helps support the channel. So feel free to use that link if you are looking for a new mouse to speed up your workflow. It's very much worth it. But we have to look at what the hotkeys are and what ones I specifically use. So to do that, it's very, very simple. So obviously this right here is the selection tool. This is your main tool that you are going to use. If we drag this out onto the timeline to move around, you have to have the selection tool. And it's nice because all you have to do is hover over it and it tells you what the hotkey is. So the hotkey for the selection tool is the letter V. Okay. Now, the other tool that I use for, and again, there's a lot more tools and we can get a lot more advanced, but my goal is to teach you the simplest and fastest way to edit your videos in this program. So the other tool that I use is the cut tool or the razor tool. And I call it the cut tool because the hotkey letter is C. Okay, C for cut. If I want to cut it, I hit C. And then the last tool that is a main tool that I use is the pen tool. And I use this if I have to duck audio. This is really more used for audio adjustments, which we are going to go over in part 3 of this series. But it's a hotkey you need to know. So the pen tool is P, pen, right? Very simple. And then another one that I do use is the text tool, but I typically don't use the hotkey for text. I usually come up to graphics and title and do a layer and text there. So that's not a hotkey that I really use, but these 3 are the main hotkeys. So how do I have it set up on my mouse? Let's jump over to my mouse software, because the other reason I love Logitech is because it comes with their Logi software. So you can customize a profile regardless of what game you're playing or what program you're in. So now that we are in the Logi software, you can see when it opens up, it's set to the desktop default. And you can just click on the mouse and then you can go in and adjust the actual button configuration. So now, I love this software because it will allow you to set up a profile based on the active application. However, Adobe Premiere is not automatically loaded into it. You can see if we click up here that we have the desktop, Fortnite, Rocket League, and Among Us, predominantly because those are games that me and my kids play. So what we want to do is add a profile for Adobe Premiere. So we go down here to Manage Profiles, and you can see that we can add profile for the selected app. And that's what we want to do. We want to name it something like Adobe Premiere Pro file. And then click that to activate it. So now you can see that is now the active profile up here. So that is the one when we click on the mouse, it's going to be edited. So we just click on the mouse and you can see right here all of the stock desktop buttons, the way it's just the factory settings for the buttons. And you got 2 different views. You got your side view, which is DPI shift, forward and back. And then you got your middle click, scroll right, scroll left, all of this stuff. But you don't want any of that going on for Adobe Premiere. So the first thing we're going to set up, we're going to go to view 2 because I always set these buttons up first. And this is very simple, you guys. You're just going to come over here and you're going to click on keys. And then keys is going to bring up all of the keys on your keyboard. And what you're going to do is you're going to click on the one you want to edit and it'll go blue, just like you see right there. So if I click off, it's yellow. Boom, it's blue, ready to be edited. And all you're going to do is you're going to scroll down to the hotkey that you want to assign to that button. So in this case, we want, I like to have my razor tool right there. So we're going to go C for cut. Because when I'm scrolling through stuff, that's usually what I want to do is I want to cut it right there. Boom. That's my main thumb button. Now, when I want to go back to the selection tool, I use this button. So we're going to click on forward. It goes blue. And then we're going to go down to the letter V, which was our hotkey for the selection tool. And then on this back button, this is where I like to use the space bar so I can play from wherever I made the cut. So we're going to go ahead and click that one. And we're going to come down here and we are going to find, where is it? Space bar. Where's our space bar? Space right there. Go all the way at the bottom. So now we have my 3 main buttons all set up on that side. Now we're going to jump back over to view 1. And there's a lot of options that we have up here because the reason why I love this mouse so much, scroll up, scroll down, you can click left, click right, and then you can press straight down on it and you have a middle click. So lots you can do with the scroll wheel. Well, here's what I like to do. I make the middle click my Alt key so that I can just push down and then scroll up and down to zoom in on those different clips like I was showing you. So we'll go ahead and click the middle click, and then we're going to go down and we want left Alt or just Alt. It doesn't matter if it's left or right. Let's see here. Where is it? Yeah, we'll just do Alt. Boom. So now I can just push down on that scroll wheel and scroll up or down while I'm depressing that button. It's absolutely fantastic. And then I don't use the DPI buttons at all when I'm in. I just have a set DPI that I use. So I'm going to use this forward one for the pen tool. So when I'm working on the audio, I can just, quick click that one. So boom, letter P for pen. And then the last button I want to set up is the DPI down button. And this is where I put the enter button so that I can start playing from the very beginning of the entire timeline. So very simple. We just come down here and we find enter. Boom, right there. Now there's one more function I want to show you how to set up with your mouse because I just remembered we need the ability to undo a mistake that we made. However, there's not just a single button, so you can't just map your mouse to a single button that'll do that. So what we have to do is set up a macro. So I want to show you guys, instead of keys, you'll just click on macros, and then you're going to create a new macro. We're going to call it undo. We don't want it to repeat. We just want it to play one time when we click the button. So we'll click that. And then we're going to hit start now. And then we're going to record the keystrokes. Now, the hotkeys for undo is Control Z. So it records the down press of both in the right order, and then the release of both. So then you hit stop recording and you hit save. Then we're going to create a new macro and we're going to call it redo so we can put it back if we step back too far. And then we're going to do the same thing. No repeat, start. We're going to record the keystrokes, and this is Control Shift Z. Records the down press and the release, stop recording, and save. And then what we can do, since you were so gracious and picked yourself up a Logitech G502, the scroll wheel punches left and punches right. Those are buttons that you can just basically tilt the wheel to the left and the right. We want to change it from scroll left. We're going to do undo because you want to go back. So left, back. And then on the other side, we're going to do that redo on the other side. And now with the click of click left on your scroll wheel, click right, you can undo and redo a mistake that you made in an edit. It's absolutely incredible that you can set your entire mouse up to do everything you need it to do. And you're done. Your mouse is now programmed with all your hotkeys, so you can literally edit an entire video with just your right hand on the mouse. So let's jump back over into Adobe Premiere. So now that we're back in Adobe Premiere, let's put these buttons to work, right? So you can see here, I can go ahead and hit my back thumb button, and it plays, and it stops. And if I want to start it over, I can hit my back DPI button and keep starting it from the beginning. This is all with just my mouse. If I want to make a cut, boom, it's cut. And then I can right click and I can ripple delete. And then I want to go back to my selection tool to move stuff around. Guys, this will speed up your workflow. So even if you don't take anything more away from this series, if you don't stick around for part 2 and 3, I hope you find that helpful, that if you have a good mouse and good software with lots of button options, you can really speed up your workflow and optimize the time that you are spending making your Amazon influencer reviews. Anyhow, I hope you'll stick around for part 2, where we are actually going to dive into using those hotkeys on the mouse to start editing down the clips that I have imported. We'll see you guys in the next video.